What up, Instagram and YouTube? It's your boy Salty Redcorn, and I'm back with my top 5 user knives. I was tagged by Fletcher from All Things Knives, so let's get right into it, all right? The first one is going to be the CJRB Rampart. This one's in copper. I've heavily modified this knife. I've broken the tip a few times. As you can see, I've reshaped it just a little bit. The knife's fully customized. I barked out the scales, and they are shipwrecked, and I've also lightened the knife. I've done milling inside this knife to the hardened liners and removed a lot of weight from it. So look at that action on this knife. This is one of my favorite actions. You can Spidey flick it. I love this knife, and I use it all the time, especially when I'm doing like something like construction, cutting sheetrock and stuff like that, right? D2 blade steel, one of my favorite blade steels, hand down. All right, so the next knife is another budget knife. This is the Komaran K010, and this is one of my favorite knives, period, but I really use the crap out of this knife. I don't know if you guys can see from the finish, you know, I really put the work in on this knife, and I use this for a lot of different things, but mainly when I'm going to do some kind of construction or something that's a hard use, I grab this knife, and I'm not afraid to use it. It's titanium, it's on bearings, so the action on this is crazy too. Very good knife. It's been modded by me. I absolutely love it, and I use it a lot, right? So another user knife, Spyderco Galil Bradley 2. This was gifted to me by Peace Love EDC. This thing means a lot, and I use all my knives. If there's a knife that I don't use, it doesn't stay in the collection. I use every single knife in my collection, whether it's a rare sprint run or not. I use it. I buy knives to use, straight up. So this was kind of hard for me to pick 5 because everything that I have gets used, right? But this is one of my favorites because it's got a really awesome ergos, really awesome blade shape, and the hollow grind is sick. It's also M4 steel, scales by Sharp Dress Knives. Really like this one a lot. This one gets a lot of use. It's a really tough knife. All right, excuse me. Next, Spyderco Native Chief in Rex 45. This knife gets a lot of use. I use it a lot for food prep. When I'm in the kitchen, this is usually the knife that I go to. It's got a beautiful skinny flat grind, and it works fantastic. Also, the Rex 45 holds an edge for a long time, and that's important to me, you know, for my food knife, really, because I don't always want to have to sharpen my food knife. Some of the other knives I don't mind if I have to sharpen, but this knife really gets the job done. The ergos are sick. They fit my big hands perfectly, and it's got this nice long blade to really do some big cuts, you know, cutting tomatoes and stuff like that. It works really good. And last but not least, this is the CRKT Minimalist in D2 steel. It's a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. Some of you guys have seen this on my channel before. I like this knife a lot because it's so small, but it fits my big hands, especially with this little lanyard. It really locks in. You know, there's some ergo sorcery going on there. And I just love this knife because it's something that doesn't cost a lot of money. It hides nicely on my belt loop up in the front, and I just use it, man. If I have to do something that I don't want to put my folders through, I use this. I scrape paint with it, I pry with it, I do all types of bad stuff with it. And so I love the knife for that reason, and I think it's an awesome user, right? If you guys don't have one of these, I highly recommend this to everybody who's into knives, right? So that's going to do it for my top 5 user knives. Let's do a quick pocket check today. Mickey on the wrist. I'm carrying the GC3, and this is going to be my knife for the day. I'm carrying the Galil Bradley. All right, so I have the day off with the kids today. We got a lot of stuff going on. Had to make this quick, but I appreciate Fletcher tagging me, and I love all you guys, and I hope you guys have a nice day. All right, peace.